Welcome, beloveds. Hello, I am Reverend Kirstin Hanson, and welcome to our time together with the Heart of Magdalene, Soul of Sophia. This is our weekly gathering. We are the Church of Sancta Luma, Church of Holy Wisdom, representing the reparation of the feminine face of God and restoring her to her rightful place at the table. Now, we know the divine is neutral, but we also know that the feminine here on earth since the beginning of time, has not been seated in her rightful place. And so we are restoring her balance. I am so grateful to be here with you tonight. In our daily blessings with Holy Wisdom, we are speaking of the year of blessings and everything, the miraculous awareness that all of life is a blessing. See, the indigenous, they knew these teachings. And so I can't even say that these teachings didn't come from that. They came from, they are part, they have just such an innate awareness that all of life is a blessing. But tonight, what we are going to be talking about is holy love revealed as the feminine face of God and what that means. Now, as I mentioned, this is the Heart of Magdalene, Soul of Sophia. And Magdalene and Sophia are so near and dear to me. Magdalene, I have such a deep and intimate love with Jesus. And to know Jesus, you must know Magdalene. And to know Magdalene, you must know Jesus. They're just intertwined. That's the divine holy union, which is a story that you will find in almost every religious text since the beginning of time until there was the erasure of women in these texts. And Sophia, I have such an intimate relationship because there's so much to talk about here, but I have had a direct encounter with Sophia making herself known to me while I was teaching a class, and it happened. It looked like I was having a stroke. And I was really guided as I was on my path of reverendship to really bring the teachings of Sophia forward. Sophia just being a name simply given to she who was present at the time that God created the world. And when I say the world, I'm not even talking about earth, I'm talking about the beginning of time of all time. And the feminine and the masculine presence that were present, that spark, that divine spark that created it all. And I'm here to represent that. And so, yeah, we'll start with that tonight. We'll start with that tonight. So, holy love as the feminine face of God. And I'm just going to pray us in. I'm going to pray us in. I'm going to try to be a little less formal and a little more fluid, allowing holy wisdom to begin to move through us, right? Through you, through the consciousness that's getting created here. And we're just going to ask the white light, we're just going to bring the white light into the awareness of our center of our heart, our holy temple, the holy dwelling place that is within us. We bring this holy white light that is that of unconditional love, that is not human love. We bring the power and the presence and the joy that comes from recognizing and becoming one in our consciousness and our awareness with this holy love, with this holy presence, with this divine presence. We know that the words that are being spoken here today, they are for someone. They are for someone, and someone listening needs to hear these words. And may you remember the truth of who you are. For I know the power and the presence of God is so powerful, so real, that as we speak these words into existence, you are having a memory of the truth of your divinity. And I call upon the white rose and the red rose that are the hosts that bring their frequencies through the temple of roses, as we invoke the feminine face of God and holy wisdom to reveal and reflect that which needs to come through for us tonight. and so it is. Amen. So before we even begin, let me just quickly talk about the white rose and the red rose. So for me, I have a program called the Temple of Roses. And the Temple of Roses is etheric. It's a place where we, as the feminine, I choose to present as feminine in a female body. We, as the feminine, are the receivers. We receive, we receive, we receive. And the Temple of Roses is a frequency where the divinity of the feminine face of God is revealed. The white rose for purity, the red rose for bloodlines. And the rose is the highest frequency of flower. And it represents, since the beginning of time, you can see it in all types of literature, the rose represents love. And so it's present as we talk about holy love. Now, when we talk about holy love is often misunderstood, isn't it? Right? We think of this, we assign so many human qualities to human love. We reduce it to sentiments, to romance, to emotional warmth, to, oh, I love that guy so much, or that girl, or that person. And yet, holy love is so much more than human comprehension can articulate. Now, you have had a direct encounter with this to understand what I'm saying. Because if you've had a direct encounter, you will understand there are no words that can describe that experience. Holy love encapsulates the sustaining intelligence of all of creation. All of creation itself. Holy love sustains the intelligence of all of creation. It is such an elixir that you can't but not be in full wholeness. Full wholeness. Love is just love. Peace is just peace. Joy is just joy. Happiness is just happiness. Like things just are. There is no opposite. There is no polarity in this. Now, where does the feminine face of God fit into this? Let me tell you, it is not soft in the way that culture defines softness. Let me be clear about that. But it is so soft. It is so soft and so delicate and so tender. But it is also lit with fire, water, air, earth, ether, that it can't but not move you. And that's its strength. It's profoundly strong. It's intelligent and it's attuned to all that is. It is in the very nature of everything. See, Emerson talked about that, talked about the very nature of abundance. It is in everything. And nature reveals that for us. And we are part of nature. What I love about this concept of the feminine face of God is that it holds life itself in coherence. See, we are the creators, the creatresses. We hold life itself. We are the containers of life. That's a pretty profound statement. We hold life within us. We are the coherence of life itself. And when we, the feminine, contain, we do so without constricting. When the feminine nurtures, they support agency and sovereignty. They don't diminish it. They don't squash it. They don't hold it down. They support and elevate and expand agency. See, the feminine aspects are communal. They understand that there is a divine presence that is seeking to emerge through everyone, and everyone has a spot on the stage that is equally unique and equally as important, no matter how it's displayed. Some people are very quiet, some people are very loud. Each person has their notes to sing in the symphony called life. So this feminine aspect of God doesn't erase sovereignty. So therefore, we don't have to constrict who participates. We don't have to label you. You can't come if you don't believe this, or if you look like this, or if you sound like this, or if you wear this, or if you do that, or if you say these words. She, the feminine, loves all her children. So we don't need to suppress your sovereignty. We don't need to change you. We accept you as you are. Come as you are. That is the invitation. You are received at her doorstep as you are. So you don't have to have diminished agency. What does that mean? That means you get to be exactly who you are right here, right now, being held in unconditional love, unapologetically. And nobody can turn you away for that. Now, well, I'm not going to go there. We're not going to do that right now. But we also know that sovereignty is standing in your own divinity and claiming this. So, beloveds, your invitation is to receive the recognition and the love of holy wisdom, of the divine source, of the divine intelligence, and hold yourself as sovereign and stand tall, because this is love. This is unconditional love. It has no barriers. It has no conditions. It has no qualifications. It doesn't know color. It doesn't know sex. It doesn't know clothing or the right things to say or the right people to marry or the right amount of money. It just doesn't care about that, because love loves everything, right? Mother Earth, she loves everything that inhabits the planet, and anything that seeks to destroy it, she's going to move out of its way. That's how fierce she is, right? But she also is a life provider. She is a sustainer. She gives life. She holds life. She sustains life. And she creates interconnectedness so that all life can thrive within her until its natural life and it's time to go. So love is the environment. Love is the environment. Now, let's talk about psychology for a second. We know psychologically that safety is required for regulation. We know this. And spiritually, we recognize that love is the original field of safety. It is the original container. That's why this somatic presence is so important. Breath work is so important. Prayer is so important. Devotion is so important. It takes us back into a self-regulated state that allows us to remember the spiritual truth and recognize within us that love is the original field of safety. And when we allow that in, when we breathe that in, when we breathe in this unconditional love and allow us to recognize our oneness with Source, with God, with His God presence, we soften. We soften. You can't but not soften in the presence of love. You cannot but soften in the presence of love. Love drops all armor. Love drops all hatred. Love expands life. When love is present, nervous systems settle down. When love is present, clarity arises because our body can internalize the holy wisdom in our words and allows the divine presence to come through us. When love is present, alignment restores itself naturally. And in the teachings of Sophia, she embodies this wisdom. She is that wisdom. And that's what embodiment means. It means that it is who you are, it becomes, and who you are is not something you create, it's moving everything away that denies the revelation of the truth of who you are. You don't have to become anything because you already are it. You just need to move the debris that blocks you from revealing that to the world. Sophia also doesn't force insight. It will happen when it happens. You can't ask a rose to grow faster than it's meant to grow. It's just not possible. So your insights will come when they're supposed to come. But what does happen is you nurture the conditions for all of you to emerge in divine timing. And this is where being at peace, be still, child, and know who I am. That is the greatest wisdom there is. That's one of the greatest teachings because it asks that you be still. It asks that you be at peace and know that it is done, that which you are seeking. And when the conditions are right, it will emerge. Mary Magdalene lives in this teaching. Shakti is the fire of this teaching, just that life force that moves through everything. The feminine stays present in the moments of uncertainty without controlling the outcome. Now, let's talk about a misunderstanding. Women get unreasonably diagnosed with being emotional. Now, do we have emotions? Absolutely, but we feel them real time and we allow them to come out of us real time. So we don't carry them and allow them to calcify within us. This is important because when the storm comes, I will work with 100 women over one man. Because when the storm comes, I can tell you something, women have some agency in them. And they get down and they get busy and they get to work and they ensure it happens. And I'm not saying this doesn't happen in men. I'm saying this is a natural state for the feminine. So Mary Magdalene, she conditioned herself to embody this wisdom through devotion to her teachings, through devotion to her understanding, through devotion to her interconnectedness with spirit, allowing spirit to be one with her. And she did stay present in moments of great uncertainty. I mean, we all know the stories of Jesus, right? And she knew she couldn't control the outcome. But she was so present and available that she was there when he was executed. She was there when he rose and became enlightened. And she was there to continue his teachings and become one of his greatest teachers. And not because she was one of his greatest teachers, he taught her to carry that power and that presence within her and have a direct channel with God because he said we are all sovereign. He did. That is one of his, he taught us that we are all sovereign and that we are to seek to have our own relationship with God. We cannot find our relationship God through another person. We must find it within ourselves. And that is how Magdalene lived within wisdom. She sought the teachings for herself, to know the teachings. She wasn't following a man. Jesus taught her how to come home to God, because home to God is within our heart. So she stayed steady in her devotion. She was grounded, she was embodied, and she was steady. And she was committed. She had a dedication. She was committed and unwavering. And I'm sure she had wavering moments. I am sure she was a female when women weren't allowed to study or have the experience of any type of knowledge of God. So, what's important to allow ourselves to become into this field of coherence is to allow ourselves to rest. Again, the women are the receivers, they carry life. We are seated and we carry that life, but we must receive. We must receive. We receive wisdom. We must let it in. We must receive. And to carry this wisdom, we must rest. This is our spiritual authority. This is our spiritual maturity. We become more quiet. We rest. So when we do push out, it is effortless because it has been an energy that is builds up within us. Receiving is actually a high mark of maturity because you're willing to allow it in. That means that your heart is not hard, it's open. It's open to receive, it's open to experience care, it's open to experiencing the intelligence that comes through, this divine intelligence, this wisdom intelligence that comes through. And there is an interdependence upon our connection with the Most High that is stabilized in truth. So we are not becoming dependent on a church or a person or a minister. We are cultivating the container within ourself that carries the seeds of wisdom within us, that carries the seeds of holy love within us, because we are the container of life. It has to have a tenderness, it has to have a softening, so that those seeds, that wisdom can be implanted within us, it can move within us. And we must nurture that container, this tenderness, this love. That's the nurturing. And love is fierce, it is strong. So you don't lose strength here. You actually gain the strength of the kingdom and the queendom of God because it is now within you. So you actually stand tall. You don't shrink backwards. You stand taller and more alive. You are a representative of your life because you are now one with life itself. You are now a co-creator as a creatress with the divine because you are a receiver of this divine input that makes you a part. You are integrated into the interconnectedness of all that is. And you are capable of carrying the entirety of the truth of the universe within you. But you must be a receptive vessel willing to hold this. This is the blessing of holy love. Your heart, it's tender now. It's supple. It's able to be watered. It's able to, the soil is tended to. The other gift of holy love is because your cup is full, because you are receiving the impouring, because you are interconnected with the divine. You're just flowing with it. You're one with it. You are pulsing with it. You now can pour back in, affirming life around you. And here, in this place, when we are both able to give from a fully overflowing cup because we received, We allowed ourselves to receive. And I have to tell you, it is never an absence. The receiving is merely you opening your awareness to allowing this unconditional love into your heart and resting without rejecting the goodness that life has to offer. This is the blessing of holy love. This is what it looks like to embrace the feminine aspects of God and to begin to embody those qualities within you so that you are an expression of holy love because it is the truth of who you are. You are the divine and the divine is you. Holy love is you standing whole and revealing that to the world unapologetically. Because the mother wishes to see all of her children flourish. All, all. Flourish in your own unique expression. And she is your biggest cheerleader. And so, beloveds, we are going to prepare to end our time here. So let's just pray. But I'm just going to ask Holy Wisdom to come in and just speak words through me. Allow me to be a vessel. We know that our words spoken here today, they are meant to uplift and elevate the hearts and the minds and the souls of every person who walks this earth, past, present, and future. We know that the divine mothers and the divine fathers, past, present, and future, are here to support and rally behind us. We know that this one love, this one source, this one power, this one presence is the holy presence that moves through us and guides us and protects us and nurtures us and nourishes us. It is the power, it is the source, it is the supply of all of our strength. It has the capacity to move mountains where that seemed immovable. And we know with each and every step we take that we do it with a surrendered heart. So all of our actions are in direct alignment with you. And we have gratitude. We have gratitude that we continue to grow in the image and likeness of you so that we are an outpouring and outpicturing of heaven on earth. Because we know that through us, heaven on earth is born, that we are the co-creators, we are the spiritual midwives, we are the creations that are creating this new world, this new heaven on earth, and bringing it, anchoring in right here, right now. And we know that as we go out from here throughout this week, that we rest in the absolute truth and trust that you have our back and you always have, always did, and always will. And that this life is for me, not against me, and all of my needs are met, but they are met with such abundance, I can't deny the outpouring of the blessings. And I cannot deny that I too am a beneficial presence upon this earth because I am a representative of you. I'm an ambassador of love. I'm an ambassador of creating heaven on earth, and I'm an ambassador of peace that bridges healing throughout nations and makes them whole again. And so it is. Amen. Aho. Ashe.